Good morning, y'all. Slight bit of gas. It's all right. It's all right. If it's a Monday morning, you already know the forecast. It's gonna be a shitstorm. I'm your host, Arius Bookman. Welcome to the show. Cast the spell, Gerson, KT Bay. Good to see y'all in the chat. Appreciate your presence. And anybody else who's watching later, good morning. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you stick around. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Yo, no hero cookies. I ain't giving them out. You pay some money, I can give you some hero cookies. That's how I do. That's how I do. You want to hear? Because everybody need a little bit of, little shoulder rub. It's all right. You can do it. It's okay. No, you're good. You're all right. You're all right. Everybody needs just a little bit of it. Okay. I'm not above it. If I'm here to teach you, I'm here to teach you. But if not, I'm not giving you hero cookies. I'm just going to eat you. I've been getting a whole lot better at this thing. Like, I'm dancing dances I've never danced in being compassionate with motherfuckers. I'm telling you what, man. Because before, I just wanted to embarrass. I just wanted to embarrass you. Because it was delicious for me. It was delicious for me to see you right there, strong and wrong, and then me embarrass you. Especially if the bitches was watching. But I'm getting beyond that. Not saying I let it go, but I'm getting beyond that. I'm moving forward, developing a little bit, so things are going swell for me, okay? So just know that. Satiety, Ejex, Dawson, good to see y'all in the chat. Hey, got that porta potty Dubai. Look, all of Dubai is a big ass porta potty. They gotta ship in and ship out trucks of shit. Man, Dubai is a joke. I don't want to go. But I think I have a pretty decent show for y'all today. Look, I might have to start doing the show in Dubai. Fuck you talking about? I might have to start doing the show in Dubai. I think I got a pretty decent show for y'all today. I will admit this right off the bat. I felt I got a little bit long-winded in the segments today, but luckily for you, who's tuned into the show and ain't just sitting there watching the segments after the fact. Oh, I'm just sitting there and watch a little segment. Arius ain't gonna know. I know. Lucky for you guys, I'm gonna have some commentary in between the segments, so we can get down to it. I want to talk today, as you can see in the questions. I want to get into a little bit of what you call practical work. Okay, niggas be itching for practical work. You see, I was about to do it again, but I didn't. I'm going to be cordial. All right, I'm gonna make an attempt to be cordial. That's a better way to say it. I'm gonna make an attempt to be cordial. All right, so yeah, I want to get into to altar work. Altar work is one of the things that I do a lot. That's my go-to. My go-to is altar work. But as with any practice, if you don't have the theory, if you don't have the appropriate understanding of the theory that you're working with, it's for naught. You're not going to do anything. You're not going to get anywhere. So, I'm getting into that today. But before we do any of that shit, somebody play that beautiful intro. What was that? Oh, it's me. I'm somebody. I'm somebody now. I used to be nobody, but now I'm somebody. Okay, wonderful, great. I can take care of it then. That should be riding. Fuck y'all niggas, man. That should be riding. That should be riding. I got one other thing I want to talk about before I get into my general libation and whatnot. I've made a groundbreaking decision in terms of the additional course material for everybody who's taking the boot camp and beyond. If you are not aware, I offer the boot camp. I'm eventually going to come back with it. It always reboots. It's the reboot camp. But I made a decision about the additional material. The boot camp is a prerequisite to any other course material that I release. And so this is what I decided. As you know, I'm a consultant. I don't just offer consulting services. This is what I do. That being said, I don't like teaching. It's fine offering a class. I don't mind because I know people need to learn shit. I don't mind that at all. But I was thinking too hard. Study long, study wrong, right? I was thinking too hard, and what I'm going to end up doing is I'll probably have maybe 3 to 4 boot camps a year. I'm going to have 2 courses rolling once a year, each of them. One at the beginning of the year, one at the end of the year. And that'll be it. And that won't be it. That'll be it as far as the courses. The other thing I'm thinking about doing is starting an apprenticeship program. Once again, only available for those who have gone through the boot camp. You're gonna have to get in, because what I like is the personal work with people, in terms of exploring their psyche, in terms of looking at the details of what it is that's right there in front of their face. That's what I enjoy, and so that's what I'm going to be leaning into, okay? So like I said, I'll offer the courses for anyone who's been to the boot camp. There'll be 2, do it once a year, probably 3 or 4 boot camps a year. Aside from that, I'm going to do what the fuck I want to. Because I'm not going to obligate myself to doing things I don't like to do. Like, I've never liked teaching. Oh, Arius, you're good at teaching. No, I'm not. I'm a dick. I'm not good at teaching. I can do it. I don't like to teach all the time. I don't like to teach. But what I do like to offer with the classes is that you get the recording, you get the personal lectures, you get to answer the questions you want answered, and it's yours. It's yours. Just like with the consultations, I give you the audio recordings. It's yours. I want you to have it, but you have to go through the process of reviewing the material. It's up to you. You don't get an answer to a question you don't ask. All right. So that's it for that. So what I want to do first is get into my spotlight on spirit. Bobby Hemmett spit his liquor everywhere. I drink mine. And I bring you this. I want you guys to enjoy. I did a segment on the gin. One of my fans. He would hate to be called a fan. That's why I did it. One of my fans looked and said, "Hey man, you didn't mention the Ghouls." And I'm like, well, jinn is a general word for all the different Islamic entities that aren't angels. But, hey, why the fuck not, right? So here we go. You guys enjoy this one, and I'll catch you at the end of it, and we'll get into this shit, man. In Islamic mythology or folklore, any malevolent or evil spirit is generally considered to be a jinn. However, the details on some of these creatures can actually be quite interesting. Looking into some of those details, I'll ask this question. What is a ghoul? A ghoul is a mythical creature that, although was popularized by Islamic mythology, have their roots deep in pre-Islamic writings from their associations with Mesopotamian cultures. They were first introduced to the Western world through a collection of tales entitled 1001 Nights. That work later being translated by a French author. There are those who are of the mind that this translating author exaggerated some of his translations, or even further, added stories to the collection that were not originally there. Nonetheless, the existence of ghouls is substantiated by the Islamic text known as the Hadith. Unlike the Quran, the Hadith is merely a collection of words, actions, and approvals from the Prophet Muhammad. Ghouls are said to have been a creation of Iblis. Iblis rebelled against Allah after the creation of man, which Iblis claimed were inferior creatures that he would not bow to. Allah was said to have forgiven Iblis and held off his punishment until Judgment Day. In the meantime, however, the creation of beings such as the ghouls were considered part of the pursuit of Iblis to attain revenge against man. In Mesopotamia, the Galu demons were known to be part of the underworld and were thought to carry off their victims to the land of the dead, where they would consume them. The ghouls of Arabic mythology have very similar attributes. Ghouls are said to be humanoid creatures that most likely walk on two legs, although tend to be hunched over and even crawl at times. Being shapeshifters, they can appear as either male or female, but tend towards female so that they can lure unsuspecting men to their doom. Ghouls are known to inhabit those places that are uninhabited, most notably burial grounds such as graveyards, cemeteries, and abandoned buildings in general. There are some tales where these creatures of the desert are described as being eaters of human flesh and drinkers of their blood, all the way to undead creatures that consume human remains. On top of all that, these creatures were known to be grave robbers as well, and the connotation of that has stuck by the name. A popular tale where a ghoul makes an appearance, doing exactly what they're best known for, is a story entitled The King's Son and the She-Ghoul. As you may have guessed, the story centers around the son of a king and his encounters while out hunting with the king's vizier. One day, the prince was out on a hunt in the wilderness with a party of his men and the king's personal vizier as well. The vizier had been appointed by the king to follow the young prince wherever he may go. On this day, the party of men came upon a marvelous wild beast, which was more than the party could have hoped for. The vizier urged the young prince to follow after the beast on his own and claim the victory of catching it for himself. The prince, eager to gain this honor, did exactly what he was told by the vizier and set out after the beast into the wilderness on his own. Eventually, however, he not only lost track of the beast, but he lost track of his way as well. The prince, now lost in the wilderness and alone, soon forgot about the beast he had been tracking. Even further, he eventually came upon a young princess at the side of the road, who was herself alone as well. The young prince inquired of the girl where it was that she had come from. When she was able to, for a moment, hold back her tears, she replied to the young prince, "I am the daughter of an Indian king. I was riding in the wilderness and dozed off, and in my sleep I fell off of my horse and have now found myself alone and helpless." Upon hearing what had happened to the young girl, the prince took pity on her, put her on the back of his horse, and decided to ride along with her. As they passed by some old ruins out there in the wilderness, the young girl told the prince that he should stop by the ruins so that she could go and relieve herself in private. Not seeing an issue with this, he led her down by the ruins, and she quickly made her way inside and out of sight of the prince. The prince, being eager to continue his journey, eventually made his way into the ruins after her to see where it was she had gotten off to. He finally found her in a room speaking to 3 other figures who were small and sitting next to a fire. He peeked his head into the room and listened to their conversation. The young girl spoke to the 3 figures and said, "I have brought you good fat boy." To which all 3 small figures bustled with glee. They replied, "Mother, bring him to us so that we may feed on his innards." At this point, the young prince knew that he was not dealing with a princess, but a she-ghoul instead. The young and terrified prince prayed to Allah to save him from his enemies. This prayer was heard by the she-ghoul, and upon such, she allowed the boy to escape. When the prince did return home to his father, the father had the vizier put to death for putting his son in such danger. In some accounts, The Prophet Muhammad completely dismisses the existence of ghouls, yet and still, in other accounts, he gives advice on how to banish the creatures. One of his companions, Abu Asid al-Sadi, states that ghouls lived in pre-Islamic times, and that Allah no longer permitted them to exist. While a different companion of the Prophet, bin al-Khattab, was said to have put a ghoul to the sword on the side of the road while on a trip to Syria. Either way, the ghoul can still find a footing in contemporary cultures today, where their grim and ghastly atmosphere, along with their association with death and consuming human flesh, holds true in pictures, animations, and storytelling. Thank you guys, thank you. Louis, good to see you in the chat, welcome to the show. Yes, y'all, I gotta do the voices. It's so much fun for me. Y'all understand, I be sitting here doing that shit, cracking up, doing like 2 or 3 takes, and I can't help laughing. But it's necessary. It's necessary. Drama is life. Drama is life. You gotta remember that. Drama is life. Otherwise, it's boring and you'd rather not do it. Drama is life. I am an Indian princess. I had the prince out here ready to save them bitches. No. Stop it. Stop it. You see where it got him. He had to pray to Allah. You see where it got him. Stop it. Stop it. Alright, y'all. Let me see what I got in the chat real quick. Cosmic Clover, I love how he changes his voice. I do that a lot when reading. Yo, this is also a thing. Because I'll be reading stuff, the law, excuse me. I don't know where that was at. I'll be reading the law stuff. And these motherfuckers have sentences that go on and on and on and on and on. But what I realized I was doing, like maybe a day or two ago, I didn't realize I had been doing this, is when the sentence breaks off into smaller parts, like broken into commas, my voice would change its the note, I guess I was listening to myself say it in. So it helps me keep track of what's going on. Like, you know, you start here and then 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 bring yourself back to the whole original comment. Like, sentences can get long, man. A lot of motherfuckers, you don't know the English language. You don't know how to read. Most motherfuckers read on the 7th grade level. Okay, congratulations if you read on the 9th grade level, but you graduated through all that shit. You got to get in here for reading comprehension. You got to push the borders, and you got to stop wanting other motherfuckers to do it with you. Hell, you want other motherfuckers to do it with you? Get into the gilded server. Get into the gilded server. This is why I set it up, so that motherfuckers can do this shit. You already know people who want to fuck with it. Dude was in my DMs the other day. One of the dudes I work with. I ain't seen him in the chat today yet. He was like, man, he wanted to have people to talk to about some of the stuff we had talked about. And I'm like, well, get into the gilded server. He's like, no one be in there. I'm like, well, nigga, if you was in there, maybe somebody'd be in there. He jumped in there. Shit popped off. All you gotta do, take one step. I already got the next 2 for you, but you're gonna have to take that step. I need you to take that step. That's all I'm talking about, Joe. That's all I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah, ghouls. As far as ghouls go, one shining example that I think is a great example is the anime Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul is outstanding. Even though the main character is kind of a bitch, he grows out of it. You know, I think that's part of his progression. But check Tokyo Ghoul out. Tokyo Ghoul is outstanding. Yeah, that's very, very straightforward, simple segment there. Let me make sure I have nothing else I want to talk about on that, and then I'll jump in here. Shawty on knees like my name, Allah. We get the fully immersive experience. Yes, you do. I come through and I have fun with the shit. Drama is life. Cast a Spell says I was just in the lady server. Oh, all right, cool. There we go. Pop that shit off, yo. I've been thinking about it. I have, and I still have no idea what to do with the ladies in there. So Yeah, that's kind of a thing. That's kind of a thing. Hey, man. Hey, look. Real shit. Real shit. If I'm not going to be your man, I don't know what to tell you. And that's a problem. I'm honest about it, though. If I'm not about to be your man, I don't know what to tell you. I don't. I don't. I have enough shit for me to figure out here. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm doing the study group for the people who took the boot camp. I'm doing a study group for people who've had consultations. And I'm getting around to doing one for just the guys. That leaves me with a single week left. I was thinking of leaving that to my apprenticeship, but I ain't gonna have that for a while. So I can use it for the ladies, but I don't know what the fuck to do. Because it's like, I'm not your man. I don't know what to tell you. But, that's neither here nor there. Is it neither here nor there? I'm gonna say it's neither here nor there, so I don't have to deal with it. Abraham Lincoln. If you don't want to discuss a certain topic, don't bring it up. Okay? I brought it up, my thing. But hey, just so you know, I work with women as well. There's a spot for you to talk, communicate, come together. What's that, hot scissoring? Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. All right, y'all. I want to jump into this. I want to jump into these segments here today. Oh, Nino Brown, good to see you in the chat, bro. Good to see you in the chat. They got some coffee. I got some water with a little bit of orange juice in it. Yep. That's my drink for this morning. Okay, this is what I want to get into. Altars, all right? I got two segments here. Well, it's one segment, but it's cut into two. Because I want to make sure I get down to talking about the theory of these things, okay? Here's the issue. Here's the issue that a lot of motherfuckers will have, okay? You get into a place, and this is the being impressed with yourself shit. This is what that is. This is why I always mention it. Impressed with yourself, and so you don't really do anything. They get to a place where it's like, okay, look at me. I can do anything with anything. And then they do nothing. That's the problem. Yeah, I get it. You can do anything with anything, anywhere, anytime, all the way. Okay, great. You can. There's never a time you couldn't. What you're really excited about is the fact that you really believed you couldn't. And you're just getting into the place where you're trying to convince yourself, so you have to say that shit over and over again. Like, what are you doing? And then when you go back and look at it, it's fucking human shit. It's fucking regular shit you could have been doing. All right? And look, this is my thing. It's not what you think, it's how you think. And so you need to get into a place where you can discuss the theory. And not just discuss the theory where you get in a place where people are talking, they're saying this, they're saying that, they're saying this, they're saying that, and nobody's questioning anything. That's not where you want to be. That's a circle jerk, okay? Everyone's there for affirmation to feel good. I don't want to do that. I'm not condoning that shit, all right? So anything I'm talking about, ask me a question about it. Give me the smoke on it. This is what I'm here for. I'm here to help continue the conversation. Okay? I enjoy this. We're going to have the conversation. So, one thing that I suggest people do is altar work. Among many other things I suggest people do. But altar work is one of them if you want to get into the practical side of this. Okay? It's one thing to say, I work with this deity. I work with that deity. I work with this deity. A lot of times it's just a badge on their chest. No, this is what I want to say. Belief without action is hollow. Okay? Altar work is part of the action. It's bringing it into physical form. It's interacting with it in the same way that you interact with the other things you already engage with. But we're going to get into all of this. Chat smooth. Levels are good. All right, we're going to jump into this first segment, y'all. Take a look. We're going to come back. For all of the solo practitioners, more especially those on the left-hand path, I'll ask this question. Is an altar necessary? To start this off, I want to describe a few ideas of what people would generally consider when they think about an altar and how they would use them. Like many things, in the spirituality and occult conversation, because very often people do not agree on or even agree to consistently define their terms and usage of what an altar or a shrine is, or even the differences between them can be confusing. Traditionally, the term altar has been saved for a separated surface upon which ceremonies are performed, or, at the very least, consecrated tools are kept. A shrine, on the other hand, tends to be a place more than a surface, although it serves the same function. Now, if you ask me, a shrine can be an altar, and an altar can be a shrine, although the two are not necessarily the same thing. Ultimately, I'll get to the details of all of that as I progress through this segment. For right now, though, and to keep things as simple as possible, I'll say this: that what an altar is a focal point for a concept or an idea given physical form. The most common and well-known type of altar being one to ancestors or a specific deity. As I have said before, ancestors are the deities of physical life, and that an altar need not be a surface that is horizontally flat or flat at all. Traditionally, however, things like altars have been made upon tabletops, placed in homes and sacred spaces or shrines. Whether they are a small collection of items and idols set out in a corner, or a highly adorned centerpiece of a ritual ceremony. That description is traditional, all things considered. However, as the times change, so do the ways in which we do the same old things. A collection of old photos on the top of a dresser in your grandmother's room is just as much an ancestor altar as anything else these days. Where once someone would have covered a wall in the images of Ganesha from the Hindu pantheon, today you can find a wall covered in a selection of motivational art and images. Where someone would have collected various idols of deities sold at a local market, today you can find shelves decorated with plastic dolls from the Marvel Comics universe or clothing branded with some particular logo. The ideas have not essentially changed, but the forms in which we conceive and express them have changed. These types of altars that I've spoken about so far, regardless of their form, I would call them secondary altars. Now, if these altars are secondary altars, that begs the question of what is a primary altar. Let's answer that question. Keep in mind what I said that an altar is essentially. Aside from its prescribed forms, it is a focal point for a concept or idea given physical form. Let's continue down this line of thinking. If we also include the fact that the physical world is illusionary, and remember, illusion does not mean it's not real, it means it's not what it appears to be. Also, and furthermore, seeing as how your physical body is part of the physical world, that is not what you are. I would say that most people already agree with those tenets right there. To be quite frank, I would think it goes without saying, but then again, you never really know these days. All that being said, I will say this, that in terms of what yourself actually is, your physical body is and always has been an altar to and of the self, in all of your occult working and in your life at large. The best way to understand an altar is to look at how you are already using one. The body is draped in the symbolism from the theology of your personality, the things you like, enjoy, your traumas, your sadness, the habits you religiously repeat using that body, being ceremonial rituals that venerate or work in the service of your idea of yourself as that personality. From the clothes that you wear, draping your flesh, like an altar cloth made from the finest scrap of fabric you could get your hands on, all the way to the scars and shape of your body, reflecting the life shining out of it. Like I said, the body is draped in the symbolism from the theology of your personality. What you like, don't like, what you stand for, believe, or would like to appear to be. That altar of the body is even nested within other altars or shrines. The idea behind a shrine being that it's a place as opposed to something in a place. The room and space that you consider your own can be construed as an altar, where your body becomes movable like some idol or centerpiece atop the altar, or can even be transposed onto another altar or shrine by moving from one room to the next within a house, the house containing all of those rooms. Your room is an altar to yourself, the same way the body is, although with a different form and density, reflecting outward that which is within the body, but it's not the body. in physical form. The result being your room and how you've decorated it, how you choose to carry it, keep it, maintain it. Even further, your room can be one altar upon the shrine of your entire house, where each room is a different altar. From the altar of your room upon the shrine of your house, the body is moved to another altar, say the bathroom, basement, or even the kitchen. The kitchen being an altar to nourishment, cooking, community, and food in general, among other things. So much so that what you would do in one room, you would never take the time to consider doing in another room. All right, smoothness. Yeah, Louis said, I haven't fucked with an altar in a minute. Love it though, real old school. I disagree. I say you have fucked with altars, and you don't stop. One of the strategies I like to employ when dealing with my clients and students is, and this goes back to the whole living lucid idea, okay? Because it's not what you think, it's how you think. Figure out how you're already doing the thing you're trying to do. Because in most cases you are. For example, motherfuckers want to do the whole, oh, I'm unlimited, I'm beyond limitations. Okay, motherfucker, okay, dipshit, you already were. You've always been that. So you want to lean into what you're already doing. I want to manifest this, I want to manifest that. Well, you're already manifest. So how did that work? Lean into what you're already doing, okay? So the claim that I'm making here is that you're already always working with altars. It's about how you're construing that thing to be, okay? I introduced the concept of a primary and a secondary altar. So there's two sides to this, okay? There's the understanding of a primary and secondary altar. I'll get more into the secondary altars in the next segment, but I wanted to make sure the idea of a primary altar was properly established. And then there's also the relationship of idols, altars, and shrines. Okay. So first and foremost, let's kind of look at this primary altar for a moment. Okay. Going along the line of thinking that first of all, the physical world is an illusion. This is what niggas love to say. Everybody already agrees with this. What you are is not your body. All right. Everybody already agrees with this. So these are presuppositions you're already going to be taking, all right? But the point is to actually consider them, to actually lean into these things, and not just say it as the next hot affirmation, okay? Belief without action is hollow, all right? Believing is more than just saying it and feeling confident with your chest out. Believing the action, how you're acting, is part of what's portraying what you believe, and not necessarily portraying it to other people so other people can see it and shit like that. I'm talking about showing your work to yourself, all right, to where you don't need to be continuously convincing yourself. Now, there's a phase you're gonna go through where you have to continuously convince yourself because you don't honestly believe. But if you don't acknowledge and accept the fact that you don't honestly believe, you'll never get through that phase. All right, so you have to challenge the doubt. And so we're looking at the fact that what you are is not the physical body, and the physical world is an illusion. Doesn't mean it's fake. It means it's not what it appears to be. That being said, what the hell is your body then? Okay, I'm telling you, as the idea that I'm setting up here is the primary altar. Okay, it's the initial altar. It's decorated to reflect the theology of your personality. Okay, not to say the personality is the end all be all, but it's decorated in that way. Once you start to get past the personality, you'll start to do the decoration a little bit differently. And it's not that you're decorating it so other motherfuckers know. You're decorating it because that's its purpose. It's part of the action. Okay, if you're a kid out here who thinks, oh, I'm goth, look at me, I'm goth. Well, you're gonna decorate it in goth things, all right? Well, for a lot of goth people, it's clothing and music. I'm not music head, and my wardrobe is shit. So you wouldn't know. You'd have to listen to me. Custom leads the willing. Custom leads the willing. I've never heard that. What do you mean by that, Cassis? Put something else in there. Let me see. Custom leads the willing. But yeah, like I was saying in the video, we're doing the same old things in new ways, okay? You see somebody, and this is the part of the thing I want to do here, is opening up your idea of what an altar is, okay? Because if the furthest you've gone in thinking about this is that it's simply a tabletop in a corner for my physical body to do things, or for me to do things, that's what you're going to say. I know that's what you're going to say. That's what you're going to say. Then you've diminished your potential there. And it's not because some elite came and did something to you or some alien Anunnaki. It's because you framed your reality that way. Okay? It's a great place to start. I'm not telling you not to do it. But what I am saying is that you can lean into this. Okay? Like I remember when I first started with my first altar, it was a little end table dresser. I went to, what's the place? Goodwill, and I got a bunch of cloths. And, I set them up, I set the cloths up on there different ways. I had very minimal stuff. I remember I had this small aquarium with some water and a little bit of plants. It's kind of my thing. I had a few different pieces that I just picked up that I liked. It was all base personality stuff. But it was a place to begin. I had a few ancestor things there, and this is where I would go. I was using it as a working altar as well, so it wasn't just an altar. It wasn't just holding consecrated tools. It was also a place where I did work. I only had one altar at the time. Eventually, though, as I progressed through my work and as life unfolded, I was allowed to take everything that I had all condensed there and spread it out. I'm going to show a video a little bit later of some of the culmination of how some of my altars used to look, so that you can get an idea. Okay. Same. I look so normal on the outside. As long as you ain't thinking human. Quit playing human. All right. Where was I going with that? Okay, yeah. So the primary altar, okay? This is what you want to think about. And once again, this goes back to living lucid. What are you agreeing is going on? What are you agreeing that you're seeing here, okay? The physical body. Just like you go get altar cloths, like I was talking about. You get altar cloths for these things, and you get specific ones. Some people are less particular. There we go. Less particular about what particular cloth they put on the altar, but everyone's going to put one on there. Even if you're less particular, there is some type of specifics that you have. Some shirts you won't wear, some pants you won't wear. Like, I'm not a skinny jeans guy. I'm just not. I got this one pair of sweatpants that's kind of tidy fitting, and I'm not. It has the decorative zippers. Like, the zipper don't even do anything, and it's irritating and annoying. But there are other motherfuckers' altars where that shit would be decked out. I seen some nigga on Instagram yesterday. He had this green fuzzy sweater thing, cost like $700. I'm like, what the fuck? But hey, that's how it goes over there, okay? And if you're just thinking, this is me, this is my body, human, that's as far as you're going to go. And it's not because something's stopping you. It's not because something has limited you. It is you. And it's not because limitations are bad. Limitations have their utility. But it's about how you're using them. It's your choice to use them. Society Eject said, I definitely see that. The body being an altar reflecting our personality. Exactly. And once you can start to lean in and go beyond simply the identification of the self as the personality, it'll unfold even more. Okay? But I want to get this. Well, I think I've covered primary altars in a good little bit. I'm going to go back to idol, altar, and shrine. Cast a spell set. In reference to working with the altars, it's a maxim of law. It also says laws and compels the unwilling. What was it you said? Custom leads the willing. And it also says laws compels the unwilling. Talking about the altar reminded me of this. Spirits are more willing to work with you if you start setting up structure for them. Forcing it to happen without any respect makes for a bad time. It's giving. No, I like that. I'm gonna roll with that. It's 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 a testament to what you say you believe. Okay, it's a testament to the degree to which, you already believe in the theology of your personality. You identify as it. You work as it. Look at your actions. You most certainly wholeheartedly believe in it. All right. To the degree to which you say you believe in these other things, to what uh, to what degree are they manifest in your life? To what degree do you acknowledge their presence in your physical life? There we go, physical life, excuse me. To what degree? Probably not. But then you say, no, I don't have any altars. You're a liar. You're a liar. Look at your fucking phone. Look at your fucking phone. What are you worshiping there? What are you giving your time, attention, and acknowledgement to there? All right. Like I was saying in the video, look at your room. What are you venerating? There's the word I wanted. What are you venerating there? Look at the posters you have. I remember when I was young. It was probably like ninth grade high school. I used to take the Jet Beauty of the Week out the Jet magazine and put it up on my wall. You know? I had them going around the whole border at one point. That shit was great. But it's a kid. It's a kid. So what are you doing now? What do you have? Like I was saying in the video, you go in your grandma's room, she got a bunch of old pictures of motherfuckers that's dead. That's as much an ancestor altar as some, you know, thing you see in the jungle in some country from tribal shit. We do the same old things, but in different ways. Okay. And then with you knowing that, you can lean into it. See, it's not for you to get other people to do it. And you go out here and tell them so that you let them know. It's for you to look at it differently. For you to open up your scope of perception on what it is you're perceiving. Okay. Even Jordan Peterson talks about the thing where, clean your room. Like, let's say it like this. If the space that you inhabit is physically, the space that your physical body inhabits, and how you maintain it, how you keep it, how you interact with the things around you, how you perceive them, if that is a reflection of what it is you are non-physically and the space that it gets to live in, what is it saying? How is the symbolism speaking? Because I like to say this all the time. Let the symbolism speak for itself, because it does. But you got to be able to listen. What is it saying that your house is a mess? What is it? Not to say it shouldn't be a mess. I'm the pig. I'll live in ridiculous shit. I'm not telling you can't be messy. But what does it say? Like for example, my mom, she likes to keep plants. And me, I like to keep plants too, but I like to keep them. Like, I enjoy the task of taking care of them, making sure that I know what they need, putting them in the correct place. She likes to see them. She likes to see them more than she goes through the maintenance. And so she doesn't do the maintenance as much. But, what does that say about what's coming out from within her? All right. Keep that in mind when you're looking at how you interact with things. Like I was saying, the kitchen is an altar. Okay, you make the body an idol on that altar, and you can move it from altar to altar to altar, and all those different altars are within one shrine. Okay, which is the whole house. All right, so you have 3 different levels there: idol, altar, and shrine. Okay, well, the idol is the movable thing. The altar is the positions or places upon. No, I'd say the positions. The positions where you can move the idol. Because I used to have. Well, I'll show you in the video later. But I'll have idols, and I move from one altar to another if something changes, or if the concept shifts, or sometimes different ideas will meld together, and the process of taking the physical items and changing them is part of the work of understanding the new symbolism. All right, I'll set out to set up an altar, or to reframe an altar, and as I'm doing the work, as I have my body doing the work of that, that's when these new things are coming out. I don't necessarily always know how it's going to look, how I want to have it set up before I start it. Okay. Like, for example, another thing that I do is because I'm not necessarily an artist. My wife is the artist. I'm not. I have my art my own way. You see the segments. You see me talking shit. That's part of my art. But what I like to do is paint stuff. All right. I'll take images. I don't know if can you see all this shit. You can't see the green one because I'm using green screen. Duh. But just that picture in and of itself becomes an altar, and that shit takes me fucking weeks to make it. Not because it takes weeks to do the art, but it takes weeks to come to a place where I fully understand everything I'm looking at there. And when I say I understand, I'm talking about areas. Okay, it's an unfolding process. It's something you like, just like you setting up your room when you move into a new place. You know, you have the things you set up initially. You know this is going to go here, this is going to go here, this is going to go here, but you let it unfold. You know, there's so many different places that life already works like that, which I'm going to get into a little bit more in the second segment. But it's about living lucid. It's about seeing it. It's about acknowledging it. But, you know, accepting and acknowledging these things, because when you do, that's when they can unfold. Um, Faking human, I damn should be blending in. You got to, man. You got to. You know, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Yeah, Louis, them skinnies, bro. I can't do it. Looking like they spray painted their legs. Oh, yeah. Look like that body art shit, man. I can't do it, man. Like, what if I gotta run? And the niggas be sagging their skinny jeans with a belt on? Like, I'm just not cool enough, guys. I'm just not cool. I'm just not cool enough, right? KT Bay. So like preparing their home before you move them in. I like that. Yeah, same difference. Because there's certain things you know where it's gonna be. You know, it starts you out. But a lot of this process is letting shit unfold. You know, part of getting out of the idea of playing human is not needing to translate your experience through a human narrative. Okay, letting shit unfold, because this world is perfect. I cannot stress it enough. This world is perfect. You have to let things unfold. And if you're quick to judge them based on your human narrative, you're going to fuck it up. Okay? You're going to fuck it up. You're going to get in your own way, which is people's biggest issue, is that they get in their own way. So yeah, let that shit unfold. Let it develop. You know, there's no necessarily, okay, there's no intrinsic right way. I'm going to talk about a little bit this in the next video. But what makes a way right is the agreements that you're making. Okay? And if you just stop your agreement at, oh, I can do anything, you'll probably get around to doing nothing. So draw some lines. Say, okay, this is what I'm going to do and this is why I'm going to do it. And then you consistently do that. And then when you break that scheme, there's significance in you breaking the scheme. For example, if you said, okay, I'm going to make altars, but all my altars are going to have a yellow altar cloth, right? And you get down with the yellow, but then you come along to a deity who's like, bruh, I see what you're doing there, but I'm completely different. And so that when you break that pattern, it has significance. So all these other ones have a yellow one, but then you find this one deity in there that's got a green or a white one. And you realize, you know, hey, this motherfucker's, you know, running over these motherfuckers. He's lording over these. He's the, not legionnaire. Not legionnaire. What's the word? I'll say administrator. That's fine for right now, even though that's inaccurate. I'll say administrator for right now. And then after you get to that point, what happens? You decide, well, I don't have. I'm going to condense all these altars into one. So you have an altar with a yellow cloth on it, and you put things on there. And on the top of that altar, you put another one with that green or that white cloth that has that one on there. So now all those different altars were condensed into one. Same shit happens with physical life. All right, this isn't some mystical thing where the items themselves would have the power. We already know that what it is that you are isn't the body. It's not in the flesh. Okay? It's not in the flesh, but it's your connection to it, your agreement to it. Not to say you don't need agreements. You're going to have agreements, but it's the nature of them. Your relationship to that thing is what makes it significant. Okay? You can walk around the streets all day. I'm not my body. The physical world is an illusion. And then I cut your arm off and now you got a problem. Okay? It's not to say that shouldn't matter. It does matter. It's the connections that you make with things. So you want to lean into the different connections you're already making. David, good to see you in the chat, man. Attention is the vehicle to worship. Yes. Yes, I will agree with that. I will agree with that. Attention is the currency of existence. Fuck. Because what you pay attention to is what you learn about. I remember I hear one person say, energy flows where attention goes. And I hate energy. Don't be that. Don't be the dick. I don't like the word energy because of how often people use it, how they misuse it. Energy is the capacity to do work. All right. Energy is the capacity to do work. The potential for things like motion. All right. But it's, in general, it's a concept that's describing physical world dynamics. I mean, I get what people mean when they say energy, but it's not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily correlate to things beyond the physical realm, which people get messed up on because the energy. Whatever. Don't rant about it. Yo, the Jet Magazine Beauty Week was spicy. yeah, especially in ninth grade. Fuck you talking about, man? That shit was hidden. Not judging based on human narrative. That's a big one. Yeah. Most of this shit is letting go of things you don't need. See, that's what the left-hand path. Most of the work, once you can really start to see how perfect this shit is, most of the work is letting go of old shit and then getting new shit so you can let go of more old shit. I'm telling you, in terms of the day-to-day unfolding of life, it's letting go of old shit. That's going to be most of your physical world policy shit. And this is part of the reason I say you have to challenge your own understanding of things. Because there are parts of the way you're framing reality that are causing you to trip up. And it's not reality itself that's doing it. All right? Did I miss anybody? Did I get it? Okay. This is one other thing I want to jump into real quick before I get into the second segment. All right. I told you about the primary altars. Now, the relationship between idol, altar, and shrine. Okay? They're nested within each other, okay? This is part of the technique here to help live lucid with some of these ideas, all right? Idol sits on a shrine. Idol sits on an altar, and altar sits on a shrine, okay? The example I gave in the video. Your body, just the same way I told you it can be an altar. It can be an idol upon another altar, the altar being your room. All right, the whole shrine is your house. It's a collection of altars where you move the various idols from place to place to place to place, depending on whatever the correspondence or the connection is. All right, like I said, you wouldn't generally eat in the bathroom, although there's times, you take your coffee in there, take a shit, but you're not gonna cook up a meal in the bathroom. You don't sleep on the couch. Maybe you got a really nice couch. Don't sleep on the couch. Go to your room for that. You're not gonna do the naked dance in the dining room. Well, maybe if it's your own shit, maybe, yeah. But you probably do it in the bathroom after you got the shower or in the bedroom. You do a naked dance. It's not to say you can't do this thing anywhere else, but because you choose to, what does it say? All right, what does that say about this particular altar? Okay, and you look at the body. And the body is another one of the objects in the physical world. Because remember, I say it all the time. The physical world is one thing. It's one thing. Like you put some little jar or something on the altar, and it's special because of what? Because of the atoms? Is that it? It's got special atoms. Is that what you thought? The physical body's got special atoms, so it makes it a thing. No, all this shit is one thing. It's of the same substance. All of it is of the same substance. Your physical body, cars, asphalt, rocks, dirt, these are appearances. These are appearances. Not to say there's no reality behind it. All right? There's connection. Like if I touch this idol, this jar to the table, there's a reaction. Okay? There are certain reactions that are consistent that we can predict that allow people to make these jars, okay? There is an underlying reality to the physical world, but it's an appearance of a place. Just like you turn on a video game, it's the appearance of a place, but there's underlying reality. There's rules, regulations, there's guidelines to it. There's a way that it works. So there's a way the physical world works. But how are you looking at it? You know, just like I said, you put the special thing on the altar. Oh, now is it special atoms? No. It has nothing to do with the substance of the physical world. It's the connection that you're making. What, the atoms in your kitchen are different from the atoms in your bedroom? No. It's not the thing. It's how you've agreed to it, what you're attaching to it, the connection you make. Like people have said before, love is just a word. Okay, it can be just a word, but it's the connection that you make to it that makes it significant. All right? So, once again, and keeping this in mind, what is you? What are you agreeing to that you is when you're saying you're doing this, when you're doing that, how you move through the world? Right, special magical atoms casters, right? Like it's all this shit here is of the same substance. Like I've showed the image of the fractal pyramid before. Do I have that fractal pyramid here? Where did I put that shit? See, I really gotta get a file of images that's just for the show because I be fucking up. I really do. I really do. Let me see. Downloaded footage. Oh, I know what that is. That's something different. Where is it? Fuck, man. I want to get that. I want to show this picture because this is the most intuitive picture I've seen for this type of an idea. Okay, here's what I can do. I can open up a window right here. Half a second. Window capture. Why does it do that? Here, swap the reds and blues. There we go. All right, check me out. Make sure you can see my beautiful face. All right. Look, this is what I'd be saying about the physical world. It's a fractal pyramid. It's a fractal pyramid to be. It's a good way for me to describe it. Okay. All the different excitations of space-time, the densest aspect of reality, exist in this pyramidal shape. Okay. The pyramidal shape is reflecting the relationship they have with one another. Like if you wanted to categorize it with Western science and stuff, you could say, like you can make this the periodic table, okay? With helium and hydrogen at the top, and you go all the way down to the more rare things, okay? And then they're interacting with each other. Like it's all the same substance because atoms aren't even atoms; they're subatomic particles, and subatomic particles aren't even subatomic particles; they're quarks, okay? All this shit is the same substance. These different symmetries are appearances. Okay? There's a better picture I had of this fractal pyramid. I think this is a better one. Here, look at this. I'm delinquent. You can't even see it that good. Fuck, man. I had a perfect picture. I'm pretty sure I might have saved that shit for the stuff in class. But the picture was perfect. But, I mean, here's the thing, okay? Like, let's say you're looking at this fractal pyramid, right? And you're saying, okay, you're right here in this little spot. And you're thinking, I'm at the top of a pyramid. You know, well, in relationship to this little pyramid, yeah, you are. But that pyramid is part of another pyramid, which is part of another pyramid, which is part of another pyramid. This is what I'm saying, okay? Remember, your body cells. But the cells are molecules. But the molecules are atoms. But the atoms are subatomic particles. Oh, okay, you got your body, but it's part of the planet. And the planet is part of the solar system. And the solar system is part of the galaxy. And the galaxy is part of a cluster of galaxies. It's this. It's all the same substance. It's how you're looking at it. It's not what you think, it's how you think, all right? So you don't need you don't necessarily need the symmetries of space-time that Western science has delineated. You may need them to figure out how things are going to behave. Most certainly. But as far as spirituality, you don't need them. Okay? And another thing I want to note before I jump into this next segment, you have the pyramid itself, right? You have the physical particles for the pyramid. But what's also happening here is that the space, that empty space, see the empty space? That empty space is being conditioned by the shape of the pyramid. So to the degree to which you have this pyramid, this upward facing pyramid, right? The air that's existing in the space between is forming a downward facing pyramid. That air is being conditioned by the pyramid itself, okay? This is the same way that parts of time-space that interact with space-time are conditioned, all right? Your personality, it's a non-physical thing. It's not the body, all right? Your personality is something that's non-physical. It's most certainly conditioned by the physical world. It's most certainly conditioned by the physical world, all right? Now, the air that's being conditioned by the pyramid and the air completely outside of it, let's say over here, it's of the same substance. It's of the same substance. But the air that's existing in this empty space has a different existence based on being conditioned by the pyramid. Okay? Like, this stuff is simple. It's really simple. But it's more than, being affirmed and wish fulfillment. Okay? It's much more than that shit. Let me kill that. Yeah, I want to kill it. All right, cool. So, like I was saying, idol, altar, shrine. Shrine being a place that holds multiple altars. Altar being a place that can hold multiple idols. All right? And idols being individualized aspects or concepts. Okay? So it doesn't matter the atoms. This is an easy way to break these things down. And if you can apply this to the house you live in, how else can you expand the analogy? All right? Because this goes back to living lucid. You want to start controlling your reality. You want to start looking at your reality differently. Start really leaning into what you're already agreeing to. All right? That's going to get you further than anything. You don't need the new, latest spooky thing. All right? Now, if that's what you vibe with it. Please do. But that's not what's going to make it a thing. Like, the atoms are making, okay, here I got a golden cross with white Jesus on it. Okay, or I got a spooky black cat thing. Okay, or what's some shit I got? Like I got these fucking statues here, and the statues don't make the thing. It's the connection. Okay, it's the connection. What am I agreeing to? But I'm gonna get back into this a little more in the second segment. All right, let me kill this. I'm gonna start saving some pictures just for the show, because I'll be fucking up like that. I'm not even gonna lie. All right. That's good. All right, y'all. I'm gonna jump into the second segment. Y'all enjoy it, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna talk a little more. I'm gonna finish this idea out, okay? Remember, what is an altar? It's a focal point for a concept or an idea that has been given physical form. All right? Very simple. You can use that same definition for idols and shrines as well. But the thing to be remembered about idols and shrines is the interconnectedness or the relationship or the dynamic between idols, altars, and shrines. Okay? Shrines containing altars, altars containing idols. Okay? Very simple stuff. Very simple technique. Anyway, let me get into this next segment. All right, y'all. Here, check it out. Now that the idea of the body as a primary altar has been established, more especially the fact that you're already using it, we can move on to secondary altars, or go back to them rather. Think about this for a moment. The body is apparently one thing, as in it appears to be one thing. Yet and still, it has almost an infinite number of divisions and categories of such. Limbs and extremities, tissues and organ systems, aspects of that larger whole that make sure that not only does the larger aspect function, but helps it to do so. A pantheon of deities is constructed in the same manner, or rather, in the same image. The most essential and refined aspects being at the center or top, and the rest coming down and out or orbiting that center. In terms of a left-hand path occultist, more especially one who is practicing self-deification, this understanding is very beneficial. Secondary altars specify different aspects of that larger idea and help to give it definition. The altars and shrines of old, kept in the most sacred of places, would both venerate and express a physical form for the primary aspects of their pantheon. The secondary altars around that, or even in the homes of the people, would end up exemplifying this or that specific part of the whole. Whichever part the practitioner wanted to amplify in their own psyche and physical life would be associated with the altars that they would keep. Some people and communities set up altars in their homes for their homes. Some set up altars at their place of business, and there are even those who set up altars in their gardens or within their workspace. The power of these things is not within the objects themselves, nor anything you place on top of some surface or hang on a wall. This is the exact same line of thinking that you have with your body in the physical world. What it is that you are is not within the body and its flesh. The flesh is manifest in its image. At the very least, you just decorate the flesh, based on however you've agreed to construe and frame your personality. This same thing goes for an altar. As I said, the power is not in the altar and what you put there physically, but the connection it has in your psyche to its placement in the world. For example, a stop sign on a street corner. It sits there and does not move on its own. On one level of analysis, it is essentially sheet metal and paint. Nonetheless, most all cars stop before it, and those walking the streets depend on that to make the passage of their journey safe. The cars do not stop because they are forced to, or because of what the sign is made from. They stop because of the agreements they have made to the reality that they are living. That being said, you can consider the roadways we traverse from day to day to be an altar to travel itself, adorned in the signs and symbols of the minor deities of that pantheon. That stop sign being part of the symbolism as a minor deity within that pantheon. Traffic lights, expressways, all manner of various street signs and crosswalks. There are bridges, overpasses, there are even dirt roads, all of which are adorned with various symbolism to communicate with those that traverse upon them, each representing the physical form of some agreement that we've already established with ourselves within our psyches. Now let me be clear. I'm not telling you to go run a bunch of stop signs and get yourself a ticket and go to jail or something. What I am saying is that the degree to which sheet metal and paint can have car after car after car stop in front of it is based more on the agreement than the substance of the thing that is there. It speaks to the idea of what it is that you can affect with the agreements that you make, and also the manner in which you shape those agreements. With the knowledge of the primary altar to self as the body, and some of the history as to how people have constructed secondary altars for themselves, you are in possession of a wealth of ideas as to how you can approach this work. It's not simple as saying that there are no rules, even though on the deepest level of analysis that's true. Look, this is more what I mean. The point is more so that the rules that you do make and have been making are what will hold true. The question is, how true are you to the rules that you say you make? Even further, are you aware of all of the rules that you've been making? And whether or not you necessarily need to do them. Even after Neo watched Morpheus jump across a gap between buildings, and even affirmed himself that he could do it too, when the integrity of his belief was put to the test, the truth was that he did not in fact believe. There are altars that we all make common usage of. Kitchens, bedrooms, marketplaces and grocery stores, civic buildings, and public entertainment centers. So then, for the left-hand path occultist, is an altar necessary? I would say it's as necessary as that physical body you've been using as a vessel. We have already immersed ourselves in various symbols and altars throughout our physical lives. How you choose to frame your reality is the only thing that's an obstacle to seeing this truth. Let your altars stand as testament to what it is you say you believe and know. But also, be sure to keep an eye out for the altars that you've already been making yourself. And remember, it's not what you think, it's how you think. Smoothness. Travis Mage, it's good to see you in the chat, sir. I love how this is reflective of my studies lately. The agreements we make with the words we use and our thoughts about these agreements at a subtle level. Yes. I'm talking because I love talking about the left-hand path. Darkness is what we fuck with over here. The darkness is subtle. The darkness is subtle. It'll be the most subtle thing that makes all the difference. Don't believe me, just watch though. Fuck around and find out. No, I'm just right. But am I though? Okay, whatever. KT says what it all boils down to, and then he stops. All right, cool. No, I'm sure you're gonna say something. Same here, Trav. The meaning of words are the spirit of law. There you go, Cassis. Oh, another maxim of law. Intent is the spirit of the law. Look that one up. That was a good one. That's one that sticks with me as well. Intent is the spirit of the law. Okay. So yeah, I want to dig into this a little bit here, guys. First and foremost, the image of a pantheon. Okay. Like I've talked about, we have primary altars and secondary altars. Okay. How a pantheon generally works is there are the core elements. Okay. Like for example, Christianity. You got God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, heaven and earth. These are some of the central primary aspects. Then you have secondary aspects, maybe various angels or demons, maybe the apocalypse itself, Revelations itself. Revelations is an interesting book. I was looking at it a little bit this week. The different disciples of Christ, or the different workings of Christ. These are secondary elements to that primary element. Okay, you look at the Hindu pantheon. You got Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu, and Devi. All right, these are the primary aspects. But then flowing out of that are the other different the Devas and the Asuras, the different three worlds. Okay, I think the three worlds would probably be more primary. But you can. This is the thing. Okay? Because you can consider it primary, and I probably would consider it primary, but it's about how you're looking at the thing. All right, it's about how you're looking at the thing. Primary altars, just like your body being a primary altar, it's going to be an altar to that central concept, the immutable part of the concept. Excuse me. The secondary altars are going to be more so for the mutable aspects of the pantheon or the concept at large. Okay. Think about it like how the physical body is constructed, how it functions. Like I said in the video, it has the appearance of one thing. All right, when you look at me in this body right now doing the show, you don't think Arius' arm, foot, hand, head. You think of Arius, just one body. That's all. That's it. That's all you think about. Okay, it has the appearance of being one thing, but it has infinitely many divisions to it. This is what's to be remembered, because I talk about unity a lot, especially when I get into the Trinity. It'll appear as one thing, but there are many different parts to it. So the primary altars are going to be talking about that oneness, that wholeness, the central aspect, whereas the secondary altars get into some of the adjacent aspects. Okay, like you got organ systems. You got nervous system, circulatory system, lymphatic system. And not only do you have the systems, but the systems interact with each other. You have your limbs. You got the arm, but you also got the upper arm, the forearm, and the hand. With the hand, you got fingers as well. So these things branch out of each other. You have the cells and then the tissues themselves, the different molecules like ATP. ATP is very serious in terms of cellular biology. So all these different forms interact and nest within each other to make the whole thing function. Okay, so it's. I want to say it goes without saying, but it doesn't go without saying. It's just why I'm saying it. Travis Major said it's about how you're looking at the thing, or as we say in NLP, going meta. Going meta. I still haven't gotten into NLP. I got to get into it. Neuro-linguistic programming. Well, this is probably it. I'm probably more into it than I think. I just don't know the nomenclature of the shit. So I'll give you that. I'll give you that, because I spend way too much time thinking about how to communicate things. Way too much time. But it's the Aquarian part of my Pisces nature, so it's cool. Anyways. Um, so yeah, these secondary altars, they specify aspects of the larger whole. Okay, um, so that's what you want to keep in mind. Also, I want to get into the example I use with the stop sign. Okay, thinking about it like this, because you can translate this into different levels. The what you need to comprehend is, for this technique anyway, for this use of an altar technique, what you need to comprehend is the relationship between idols, altars, and shrines. All right, you can translate it however you want to. For example, if you continue to see the body in this instance as an idol, okay, different cars can be altars, and then the roadways themselves are a shrine. Okay, um, we move the idol with those altars. Like, look at people have their cars. I saw somebody's car with eyelashes on it. Okay, the shit's decorated to reflect the motherfucker that's in it, the motherfucker that's using it. Okay, and even that motherfucker is decorated in a certain way. All right, there's one way. That's one way you can translate it, or you can translate it like this: the whole planet itself is a shrine, with the roadways, the different roadways and types of roadways being altars. And then not only the motherfuckers using the roadways, but the signs, the things that help motherfuckers interact on the roadways. Those are different idols. Okay? And if you're looking at it like a pantheon, because you got guys that travel, 5,000 years ago, we didn't have the kind of roadways we have. If you'd have tapped into to a god of travel, god of the crossroads, like some Legba shit back then, the deities surrounding Legba would have been different. Okay? The forms that god of travel had taken would have been different. We're doing the same old shit in new ways. Okay? So where you used to have carts with wheels, with wooden wheels. Now you got cars with four wheels. There's no horses drawing carriages. In fact, to see a motherfucker on a horse on the street is some rare ass shit now. I'm not saying you'll never see it, because I've seen motherfuckers down here do it. So its rarity is symbolism in and of itself. Okay, in an age where you always have horse-drawn carriages, it's not a striking thing to see a horse. In an age where you don't, it's striking. Just like I was talking about before, where you start with those yellow altar calls, and all of them are yellow, but now all of a sudden you need one that's white. It stands in contradiction. Like man, I be saying, man, rules are meant to be broken. I usually figure out rules just so I can find the most effective way to break them. That's usually the only time I'm learning about rules. But that's not a good or a bad thing. It's like with music. There are certain rules to music, but when you break those rules, more especially in a flashy way, it makes for good music. Like, there are rules to make music in general, but when you break some of those rules in the context of them, it makes for really good and striking music, memorable music. Okay, so I say that to say this, because most of the rules that are going to be involved in the altars that you use are going to be rules you've already set up. Like I said, most of this work is going through shit you've been agreeing to, letting go of old shit, pruning back some of the shit you don't need. That's what a lot of this work is. And this is another avenue for you to lean into that work, okay? For you to begin living in a lucid sense, where you're paying attention to the dynamics between things and not just the apparent nature of an object. All right? Like this, for example. You start looking at the kitchen as an altar, and not only your physical body as an idol, but every item in there as an idol. Think about how long glasses have been around. Like glasses that you drink out, not necessarily the eyeglasses, but those have been around for a while as well. Glasses, cups, utensils like spoons. There's even different types of utensils. Pots and pans, the refrigerator, the microwave, how all these things interact to make the one thing function. Just like the different parts of your body, all these things come together, interact to make the one thing function. Just like the planet at large, you're thinking about the dynamics, you're examining the dynamics. Like, the same way you have so many different deities for different things, especially in the Egyptian pantheon. That's one of the things they're most noted for, I think, is having gods or deity forms for almost fucking anything. Okay? Interact with the shit like that. Like, how do you interact with the pots and pans that you use? Probably like a nigga ass human. Just throw it over here, don't give a fuck about it there, just treat it like this, leave it like that. No. Live your life lucid. Lean into the fact that that's a thing in and of itself. Treat it like part of the minor deities for that particular pantheon. I can't make you do it. I can't make you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, how often do you let your cell phone just be going all the way to almost dead? You know? Like, from the cell phone's perspective, that must suck. You know, you ever been living, like, had one of those weeks where you're just, like, day after day after day, drained almost all the way to the end. And then you just fall out on the bed just to come do it again the next day. Hey, man, live this shit loose. Like, stop just being so caught up in your own human narrative. Fuck this thing, man. Tap into the narratives behind other things. There's this movie. What was it? Sausage Fest. And there's this one part of the movie that no one else seems to fucking remember. I remember that shit clear as day. It was like the only part of the movie that was strikingly interesting for me. The rest of it was kind of funny, you know, satirical, whatever. There was this point where the food, they were at this stoner's house, right? This guy was smoking weed. And, you know, generally the people can't see the food talking or understand it. But he had hit something. I guess I don't think he was just smoking weed. It might have been something else. But he had hit something. He was tripping. And he could see them talking. And the food was like, oh my God, he can see us. How is this possible? And this nasty little chewed up piece of gum came in, like little Dr. X looking shit. It was like he can see our fourth dimensional reality. And I'm like, nobody else remembers this part of the movie. No one else remembers this part of the movie? Tap into the fourth dimensional reality of some of this shit. Like, for instance, the plastic in this, you know, before it was formed into this, just like your physical body, all these little elements and shit, before it was formed into this, what was it doing? What was part of that narrative? What is the continuity or the linear continuity of those things that are involved? Okay? Because you're sitting here, you're caught up in the life of this physical fucking human, the Homo sapien, and the human narrative you've attached to it. You're caught up in that shit. But this is just a minor part going from one place to another, going from one time to another, going from one existence to another. You're caught up in this middle part, and you're so convinced that it matters. No, I don't think it matters. No, I'm cool like that. I'm not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You think it matters. Don't lie to yourself. You're going to have to lie. Don't lie to me about it. You're going to have to lie to yourself first. You think it matters. To the degree to which you think it matters, it matters. All right? It's easy to say nothing matters. I don't believe in anything. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. You even believe that you don't believe anything. Like, get the fuck out of here. You're a liar. But you don't have to be. And that's the point. Okay? Think about the continuity, the dynamics that are involved. The piece of paper you're using. Can you see the tree in it? Can you see the trash in it? Think about the things beyond simply your human narrative. Start to engage with the dynamics that are around you. Live lucid. This is what I mean. Live lucid. We focus on the dynamics and not the appearance of things. Let go and let God. The bitch said, let go and let God. Hey, man, let Jesus take the wheel. Boy, that nigga ain't never drove a car in his life. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all niggas gonna end up in a ditch. I spiritualize everything. My home is an altar. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tap into it. Because motherfuckers will get to a place where they're separating their existence from these things. And there's places to make distinctions. I get it. I'm not saying don't make any distinctions, but see through your own distinctions, all right? And if you can't acknowledge the fact that you're making certain distinctions, you'll never be able to see through it. Lean in. Lean the fuck in, guys. I love it, man. I was just talking about this fourth dimensional reality with my cousin last night. I've been addressing my computer as a secretary since 2008, right? Look, when you first start up the operating system on computers, you can name that shit and everything, bro. Like, lean into that shit. Lean into that shit. For real, for real. One thing I like doing is like you ever get something from like Goodwill, some shit that has a whole life, had a whole life to it already before you started fucking with it. You know, like, bro, I can't. I don't know how many different ways I can express this shit. You got to live life in a lucid sense. You can't get mad at reality until you stop falsifying your relationship to it. And agreeing to the human narrative is falsifying your relationship to it. It's diminishing your own capacity. Like if here recently, I've more especially been Earth is pretty cool though, even with all the BS, pretty comical. Hey man, Earth is the shit, bro. Earth is perfect. I hate being here sometimes, but Earth is perfect. It's just perfect. I only hate being here from the personality perspective. The perspective of Aries' personality. That's the only time I hate it. But yeah, I've been digging back into the law stuff a lot recently, and I'm gonna reiterate this as well. I'm gonna reiterate this as well, guys. The thing that you have done to yourself spiritually to be in the position you are is the same thing these people do to you on paper. That's right. It's your agreement to things. Okay, like I was talking to my got an itch right there. I was talking to my wife last night about this. I think it's a nice little example to use. Um, you know, Judge, actually, what's your address? What are you gonna say? I'm not saying that to say, oh my God, what are you gonna do? Oh my God, there's a right answer here. It's not a right answer. The answer is only right relative to the words I just used. Okay, what's your address? What's your address? The highest servant in your house comes up to you and says, what's your address? What do you give him? What do you give him? A number and a street name. Well, motherfucker, you can address me as the Duke of Darkness. What are you agreeing to? What do you think these things mean? You've been set up in a place, you've been set up in a way to where you don't even know the words that will give you the freedom you'll desperately want. And it's not because someone's hiding them from you. You're hiding them from you because you don't feel like doing the work to go get them. You'd rather be in a place where you say, hey, I'm impressed with the progress I've made in the place I'm at. I'm better than those dead niggas. No, you're a more advanced dead nigga. Like in the fucking zombie movies where there's few of the zombies get like better powers. That's about it. That's it. That's it. What are you agreeing to? Whose game are you playing? All right, it's at its base level, it's simple shit, but it can get complicated. And there's no reason not to do it though. There's no reason not to do it. KT basically, I like that concept. Yeah, man, name that shit, bro. Names are a whole thing. Tap in, lean in. Old Dwayne Wilson. Good to see you in the chat, man. I don't think I've seen you before. Is that a turban on? No, that's just a beanie. Dawson. Dawson said, I remember when I first started seeing them faces in the trees looking back at me. Man, lean in. But I used to have a tree that I would talk to for a while. Like for a long time, I would stand in a certain place waiting for the bus, and didn't even realize I developed a relationship with the motherfucker. But it was there for that time. Hey, man, look, live life in a lucid sense. You know, talk about fucking lucid dreaming. Fuck lucid dreaming, bro. You're not even living lucid. This shit, the dynamics are never not there. This shit is always in your fucking face. But it's about what you're doing, what you're agreeing to. All right, you walk into that courtroom, you walk into a room full of people you've never met in your life and assume you know what's going on. It is your assumptions and presumptions that are enslaving you. It's your assumptions and presumptions that are enslaving you. And they can be so subtle. The darkness is subtle. I say it all the time. The darkness is subtle. You gotta lean in. There's a word for reading the psychic history of an object. Psychometry. Oh, okay. Book by W.E. Butler. Okay. Yeah, tap into that shit, bro. Like, I think this probably gets into the 72 transformations. I'm not sure. But move your consciousness into different things. You can put in the objects, animals, plants. Because objects are essentially compositions of mineral. Shift it. Shift it. You know, put your shit in a cup for a minute. Feel some of this shit. Experience some of this shit. For real. Like, challenge what you say you believe. It's one thing to say some shit out and, put your chest out to make sure other niggas on Instagram can see you. It's another thing to lean into this shit. You got folks worried they're going to go crazy. Let's stop. Go back to Jesus. Go back to Jesus. You better lean into the possibility that you're going to go crazy. Because what that going crazy is, it's you shedding old bullshit. It's you restructuring how you frame reality. And not only how you frame reality, what you gonna tell niggas, how you interact with that reframing. Because it's one thing you can sit here and try and put new words on everything, but then you don't do nothing different. That's the issue. It's your actions. It's substance over form. Substance over form. Actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. As a thing, your conduct determines what you are. It goes back to law, I'm telling you. Substance over form. You can have all the perfect paperwork, but if you go in there and do all the actions of a slave, fuck your paperwork, it's paper. Substance over form. Substance over form. And we already know this shit, but you gotta lean in. You gotta be looking to find, where am I the bitch nigga that's slipping up? And honestly want to find it. Not so you can go back and show somebody else, so that you can show you. This is where I be fucking up. This is where I'm consistently missing the ball. Why do I keep missing the ball here? And not so that you can have a great breakthrough and then go stand on your soapbox to let everybody know. Hey guys, here's a quick tip. Here's my 2 cents in the spiritual realm. Shut up. No. Lean into this shit for yourself. That's the point. Ain't no us out here. Ain't nobody else. See, that's some of the shit you gotta let go. The fact that all these other people exist and we're doing it together and we're gonna get here with them and do this stuff with them and we just came here to know. Ain't no we. I'm an NPC in your shit. Fuck out of here, nigga. Live lucidly. Yeah, that's why they get us. Even as simple as answering where you live versus where you reside. What's a resident? See, motherfuckers are quick. Yeah. Resident. 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 The prefix re means to do something over that's already been done or to change what's already been done. Resident. So whatever side you were originally on, you're changing it. You're a resident. A resident is gone somewhere. They don't live there like a domicile. They go there to do business. So you're a resident of such and such state. Well, you just agreed to be a someone who's doing business for a state. What is driving? What is driving? What is a car? What is a truck? Car and truck are commercial terms. What is driving? Remember, Massa had the driver back on the plantation who would work for who was doing a job. See, when you're in your own personal property, making use of your own personal property, which is an automobile, they don't say automobiles, they say cars and trucks, like carriage and trucking, commercial terms. What are you agreeing to? What are you agreeing to? I remember one time when I was in court, judge got me on this one, went right over my head, I missed it. I was slaying, I was hitting, had my notices and everything in. And she was like, well, we're going to go ahead and proceed with this, because you were sitting in the driver's seat at the time. And I was like, what am I missing here? I'm missing something here. Since when does my automobile have a driver's seat? Fuck out of here, right? But hey, you learn, you live and you learn. Fuck you mean, you live and you learn. But what are you agreeing to? What do these words mean? What are you agreeing to when you say this? Well, yes, I'm a resident of this and such and such and such. You're a resident. What did you just say you are when you said I'm a resident? Come on, you're agreeing to something. You're framing your reality. Words invoke things. It's not just something to sound fancier so niggas on Instagram think you're smart. The words have meaning to them. And see, motherfuckers, like I was talking about meaning the last fucking show. It might have been the last show. I'm pretty sure it was the last show. Motherfuckers will strip all the meaning out of some shit and then just pretend like it was always hollow. Like, no, you're being lazy. Figure out what that means. Don't settle for being a slave. But you will. And it's okay. The grand majority will, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. But if you say you want to lean in, lean the fuck in. Start questioning this shit. Start questioning this shit. Figure out what the fuck this shit means. And not just what you think it means or what you expect. Fuck your expectations, man. That shit gets on my nerves. Faster zombies. Yeah, Gerald. Lesser dead niggas. Who you talking about? Or some zombies that learn to talk, still a zombie. You right? Still a zombie. And that's what they want, bruh. Like, do not do that. What they want. Who the fuck is they? Who the fuck is they? I was talking to another client about this in one of my consultations, bro. Motherfuckers subjectify the objective reality. They do it so often they don't realize they're masking their own understanding of things. For example, the government. The is singular. There's no such thing as the government. And if you continue to characterize it as the government, you'll miss out on seeing the place where you can dive in and learn more on how governments work. There are different types of government. There are different governments interacting with each other. All right. If you just go the government, you're oversimplifying something to the point of incorrectness. The police. Nigga, that's the movies. They just said police. That's it. No, these motherfuckers have a jurisdiction. Police goes hand in hand with policy and politicians. All right. But if you just subjectify an objective thing so that you can feel like you understand it, you'll never get around to getting it. You'll never get around to getting it. You gotta lean in. You gotta check yourself where you're making it absolute of something that's not absolute. I can tell you right now, the use of absolute terms in the physical world is off. It's off. It's off. You wanna constrain the uses of absolute terms to things that are non-physical. Oh man, I always fuck this up. No, you don't. You just fuck it up more than you like to. But if you're moving from non-physical reality and you're making something happen, that's where you want that absolute to be. Oh, I always succeed here. That's where you want absolutes. You don't want absolutes in the physical world because all this shit is just something else. The only absolute you need here is that all this shit is the same thing. That's it. That's the only absolute you need in the physical realm. The rest of that shit, it's a misnomer. It's a misnomer. And motherfuckers will just eat these misnomers because they want to be able to say what they want to say to some other dead nigga to make sure they feel like they know what they're talking about. No. Lean into that shit. Be the dumbass in the room who needs to learn. Even if the bitch is watching. Be the dumbass who needs to learn. I'm telling you, you gotta do it. Where was I at? Here we go. Live the world like the Wizarding World. Joshua Gotham. Yeah, get into it. Be open. Like that's what the whole heart and mind of a child is. They're open to the idea that they don't know what's going on. I'm not saying you gotta be just, I'm lost in chaos and shit like that. Like, no. Open yourself up. You'd be surprised how often you're constraining yourself with your language, your own thinking, how you're framing your thoughts. Just like I was saying with the absolute terms. It's how you're framing it that's got you locked in. This place isn't a prison. It's not a prison. Oh, I must have done something bad to be here. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? That's more a human narrative. You get what you deserve. No, you don't. No, you don't. Sometimes shit's just coming, and yeah, there's nothing you could have done to stop it. It's part of the game. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you work for. You reap what you sow. Fuck you mean. That's only sometimes. Hell yeah, man. Lean in. The heart and mind of a child ain't being a little kid. It's being open like that. Being open to new ideas. And not even simply new ideas, but changing your old ones. Changing your old ideas. I was talking to one of my clients in my Instagram DMs. And he had to come to the realization of how much he wanted the one thing that's all things to be doing something spooky and special. I'm like, no. It does nothing but be that one thing. Yeah, but doesn't it think this? And as soon as he started to say it, he already answered his own question. Nah, because then the thoughts are something other than the one thing. Even the process of thinking is something other than the one thing. That one thing is one thing, and that's all it is. But he found that place in himself where he wanted it to be something more than that. You know, you got to check your old understanding of things. That's what you're letting go. This is more than motivation and wish fulfillment. It goes so much further than that. So much further than feeling good, man. Hell yeah, KTB, you gotta live that shit. Your actions, you gotta live that shit. Ain't no us out here. But I researched Bane from Star Wars, and he created the rule of two. So I'm starting a group. Head ass. You saw that shit, right, Trav? You saw that shit. I saw the notification. I'm like, what the fuck? That's what I was talking about before, man. This motherfucker had the Bane up there and then talking about he started a group with this shit. I'm like, chill out, bro. Bane would have ripped that shit apart. Get the fuck out of here, man. I tell y'all motherfuckers, Bane on the left-hand path. I'm coming for your groups. I'm coming for you and your groups. Fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here. If I ever have any apprentices, I'm gonna put them motherfuckers against each other. Y'all motherfuckers fight. This ain't no kumbaya, nigga. Yeah, question everything. KTB says question everything. The great eternal ominous they. Oh, they are doing it. Get the fuck out of here, man. I hate that shit. They are doing. What is they? What is they? Ain't no they but you. Of course. Okay. There are rich people on the planet who are trying to set things up to make it conducive for their life. Everybody's doing that. But see, the issue that's got motherfuckers in the thing, is because you think somebody doing something to you. No, you are doing this to yourself. It is not knowing the nature of your predicament or how you're continuing to agree to it. Dorothy, you never left Kansas. The Republic is a house no one lives in. Motherfuckers out here screaming democracy, democracy, democracy. The Republic is a house nobody lives in. Niggas used to say the Pledge of Allegiance. You know, look at the Constitution for the United States of America. Not the U.S. Constitution, but the Constitution for the United States of America. Ain't no mention of no democracy. But motherfuckers out here study democracy. Oh, the president. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. That's the executive branch. They're branches of government, checks and balances. But see, motherfuckers don't learn civics no more. I know. I wasn't taught civics in school. Oh, they should have taught us that in school. What the fuck do you think school is? School is a branch of colonization. School is a branch of colonization. See, these old cultures and traditions we used to have would take you through a gambit of things that you needed to know. And they would construe it and frame it in a certain way to where it unfolded. Now you go to school. And I was talking to my wife about this shit. That school trauma, man. Y'all motherfuckers are traumatized from school. That's why motherfuckers don't want to read. Because they were forced to read awful, terrible things they didn't give a fuck about. That's why motherfuckers don't really necessarily know how to learn. Because the only way it was beaten into you how to learn is you sit here at a desk, you have somebody tell you the things you need to know and then test you on it. Well, stop. So what, you waiting for the next nigga to come through and tell you what you need to know? Nah. Well, look, I'm gonna tell you like this. You need to know how to suck my dick. Here's the education. Fuck out of here, man. No. You need to learn how to determine what you need to know. That means you need to be questioning what you know and how you know that. It's not enough to just say, hey, look at me, guys. I'm gonna do ontology. No, you need your epistemology as well. Otherwise, whatever methodology you use is fucked up. I'm telling y'all, get into philosophy. Get into the philosophy of language. I've told you about philosophy of mind. There's philosophy of language as well. You know, when I was in school, I was thinking, I was in English class, and I'm thinking, I don't need to, why am I in English class? I already speak English. I didn't realize I only spoke slave English. I didn't realize. Didn't know. I was in Spanish class. I'm thinking, why do I need to learn Spanish? I'm never going to Mexico. I lived in Mexico for 9 months. Didn't know. Didn't know. You don't know what you don't know, but I'm telling you, if you don't look for it, you'll never know the things you don't know. You gotta lean into that shit, man. You got to. That's all I can say, bro. Okay, what did I miss on here? No, went through that. All right. Yeah, I did the analogy with the street signs and whatnot. Okay. So yeah, man, most of the stuff I like to give is stuff for you to begin doing your own research. I mean, I love that people watch the videos. Okay, I love that. But this is the beginning of your research. This is the beginning of your research. This is not your research. This is not the end all. You know, Hilarious says it. No, fuck you. Fuck you. No. Who the fuck am I? Some nigga yelling at a camera. Fuck you mean? Figure out what you need to know. Question what you do and don't know. How you know what you know. Like these fucking flat earthers are mad. Oh, you just listen to whatever you were told. No, they did. And that's why they're so pissed. That's why niggas was mad about Jesus. Because you just listen to whatever you were told. You didn't question that shit. Get into the habit of questioning what you think you know. try and destroy your fundamental beliefs. Literally, trying to destroy them. Risk going insane. You never know how far you can go unless you risk going too far. I'm telling you, you gotta risk going too far. Coming from a motherfucker whose greatest power is illusion, I'm telling you, most of it is bluffs. You have no idea. Lean the fuck in. Pastor Spell says, teaching myself how to learn differently has shown me the school trauma and helped me realize I'm still studying like an 8th grader. There you go. There you go. Like, they sit you up in a thing where you're studying like you're going to take a test. You got to study for your own personal comprehension. Exactly. And then test your own comprehension. Yes. Zohan, good to see you in the chat, sir. Welcome to the show. All right, y'all. I want to bust out this last segment, okay? I've been doing a lot of spiritual occulty talking. Let's get into some masculine stuff, man. Z, you came just in time, bruh. Let's get into some masculine stuff to close this out today. No, I want to jump right into it. All right, y'all, here we go. This is a segment from old Instagram live I did. I hadn't even uploaded this. I forgot I even had the shit, to be completely honest. So I clipped out this piece here from it. Take a listen, and we'll come back to it, y'all. Enjoy.
For a male, you need that. You gotta have that. But like, if you in a partnership with a woman, I'm not even say a partnership, man. If this woman, she wants to be in your life, she wants to look up to you, she wants to learn from you. She gonna get to a place where her life don't mean nothing without you. And it's not because there's something lesser with her. You judging about a standard of a man. Because by standard of a man, yeah, bro, I'd agree with you 100%. But when it comes to what a woman, I'm not saying, she's supposed to just go out there and do that to everybody or anybody. But I'm saying when she in the place where she's supposed to be doing that, that's what she's gonna do. And that's kind of the end result. Because real shit, I was in this thing where I didn't want women who looked up to me, who weren't my equal, because I was out here, I was on that mentality that what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to be equal with my woman. But the thing is, I couldn't find nobody. So the thing is, when you get with a woman, she's with you because she's looking up to you. She wants to be like you. She likes the thing you are. And it's not to say women should or shouldn't be a certain way. It's kind of is what it is. And, I kind of had to accept that. This ain't I'm out here gonna find a partner. Because I was just talking about that shit today on live, bro. Like, as much as I'd love to have motherfucker that's just, doing the same thing I'm doing and we doing it together, real shit. The one stands alone. The father stands alone. And you can have support in certain places, but like for me, I know I was looking for a break that I ain't supposed to get. And it don't tickle, but I mean, I get it.
Explain that. Go into that a little more. Go deeper.
But it's like, it's just like, because I've said it before on I might have said it before on your live before, but when I say women are the children of the adult world, okay, it's like you most folks get caught up in that, not the implications of that. Because if women are the children of the adult world, then men are the adults of the adult world. Meaning, this whole childhood thing, we don't really get that the same way. Like, we get that until mama can't tell us what to do no more, which is kind of part of what our development is. But at that point, we don't have no other development. It used to be you had cultures and shit. Cultures would tell you how you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to do, who you're supposed to talk to, how you're supposed to do it. We don't have that shit no more. We just out here at Master's house in the backyard, doing whatever. And so you can't really depend on just the typical bullshit. Like, monogamy. It's basically Christianity in Master's backyard again. Like, we got to figure out why the hell we doing what we doing. And women, they don't live the same life we have to live, and it's not a shot or anything. It is what it is. You know, like the illusionary world we make for children. Women have one too, but men don't have one. And you know, there's not really a guide on how to work that. You know, and you don't get a break from living in the reality of life. That's kind of what the role of a man is no, you don't get no break. Yeah, she get a break, and you know, the baby don't have to even think about what a break is yet, but damn it, you don't get a break. Because that's why women will get into the place where they'll marry a dude, right? Dude who ready to support them, but she ain't satisfied, and she'll divorce or go out and do something else. It's what she needs in a man ain't what motherfuckers been telling women they need or what they want. They don't, like I said, they don't know what they want. They know how they want to feel, and that's a very different thing. It's a very different thing. So you don't really get a break from that. So I mean, looking for a partner in that job, you're not really gonna want to, because really, a woman don't want to have to split the bills 50-50. What she wants is for you to really come take care of most all of it. She only really want to pay some so she can feel a certain way. It's not even that she want to pay bills at all. She want you to just come in and swoop. She'll say 50-50 because it sounds nice. And it's not a diss or a bad thing. They're emotional creatures. They go off of how they feel, not what's the logic of the situation, which is what we're called to do, which is why you don't get a break.
Leah Jenkins, good to see you in the chat. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. All right, y'all. Just so you know, it's official. I'm officially that guy who goes like, well, men and women, I say that to say this, is that, like I even said at the beginning of the show, man, I really ain't got shit for women. I'm not your man, so I don't, like, when I'm saying this shit, it's not even directed at women. It's not. It's not directed to make any kind of a slight at women. Like I say all the time, man, women are gonna be what they are. You know, men have to become. Women already are. You know, it's not a claim of superiority. It's like it's it is what it is, bro. It's nature shit. It's nature shit. Like, there's some shit that's just so consistently natural. Yes, you did come at the good part. Every part is the good part. Yeah, there's some shit that's just so consistently natural. And it ties into this whole human narrative. Motherfuckers are impressed with themselves and want to reject what's apparent. What's been that way for the longest, okay? This shit ain't that difficult. But because we don't have the same old things that we spent so much time developing with these cultures and traditions, because we don't have those anymore, I don't have an answer for women. I mean, shit, the women's predecessors have spent plenty of time, what's the word I want to use? In cooperation in dismantling the old system. But you can't expect women to play their hand to their own benefit. Just like you can't expect kids to do it. You know, it's not to say something is wrong with women. It's the nature of the thing. All right? This is part of the role we're supposed to play. Okay? So, the question is, are you looking for a partner? No, you're not looking for a partner. You're not looking for a partner. You're looking for someone who is moldable enough and willing to become what you need them to become. They can become a partner. So no, certainly, if that's what you want to make her into, it's not a problem. You know, become a support system. But there are no turnkey women. That's the biggest thing. There's no such thing as a turnkey woman. All right. Oh, I got a job. I got money. Nobody care. Nobody's looking for that. What, am I going to show you that I'm in a sundress? No. No one's looking for that. All right. No one. That doesn't matter to us. You're not going to find a woman who's already set up. Okay. Reminds me of plate theory. Well, yeah, you talk about play theory. I think that goes back to Tom Likas. Tom Likas and Rollo Tomasi talks about this shit. Keeping yourself open with options, having different options. Um, and more especially, if you're younger than 30, man, explore your options. Explore your options. Protect your seed. Okay. Because what I will say is, don't focus your life on women, but don't ignore it. Because you don't want to be the nigga that gets to the place where he's in a position to now have his pick of women, but now you don't know nothing about women. That'd be an issue. So like I say, explore your options, protect your seed. Okay, but you're not looking for a partner. When you get out here and you get to a place where you are looking, you're not looking for a turnkey partner a woman who's gonna pop in and be ready and know how this shit go. That don't hurt. We don't have that no more. We may have had those back when we had cultures and traditions. Presently, we're being colonized. And I'm not just talking about the niggas. White folks been colonized too. You just been spending so much time helping with the colonization process, you didn't realize it wasn't serving you. White folks have been colonized too. And I did my video on race. Race ain't skin color. It's a caste system. Okay? White folks been colonized too. Motherfuckers are colonized. The life you are living is conducive to the motherfucker that's running the farm. All right, to the farmer. Like I was giving this example to a client the other day. You got bulls or some cows or stuff out there in the bush in the wilderness. They set themselves up to be conducive to their own life, But when they're on a farm, they're conducive to what the farmer's doing. All right, we're on a farm right now. That's why we don't have our old cultures and civilizations giving us the guidelines on how these things are supposed to go, which means it's up in the air. But if it's up in the air, that means you can do whatever the fuck you want to do, but you gotta actually do it. This is why you need the philosophy for yourself. You need to know why you do the things you do. You can't just feel it. Leave that to the women. The women will feel and feel and feel. Let them do the feeling. Not saying don't have any feelings. Please do not misconstrue that. I'm not saying do not have any feelings. I'm not saying suppress your feelings. I'm saying you need to be able to logic your way through your feelings. The only way through is through. You suppress them, it's going to get worse. You try and hide them, it's going to get worse. You don't need to be a motherfucker that has no emotions. I'm an emotional motherfucker. I don't consistently let the emotions get the best of me. Oh, they will sometimes. You see me get triggered. But it's not about, it's about leaning into and having a relationship with your emotions, because we have instinctual things. We've evolved right alongside females. Male and females have evolved right alongside each other. In fact, our reproductive natures are somewhat controversial at times. Okay. Women have hypergamy. They're looking for a bigger and better deal. Men, we're usually looking for as much as we can get from as many different places as we can get. Okay, those two things are controversial. They clash with each other. And so it's not to say. Once again, I'm always saying this. It's not to say what women should be doing. Okay, unless that's your woman, bruh. She's basically the state's woman. All right, there's nothing I can tell you to say what women should be doing. That's why I would encourage women to get together and start talking about some of this shit. Because the old bitches ain't telling these young motherfuckers none of the new shit. They sitting here lying about whether or not they happy in their old age all alone. And because look, the women gonna listen to her before she listen to me. And then they end up in the same place. Misery loves company. I'm telling you, man. Maestro, good to see you in the chat, bro. Man needs the framework, mindset, and philosophy. Yes, sir. You gotta have the framework to maintain your own frame. But that philosophy for yourself is so crucial. The cultures and civilizations, our cultures and religions used to give us the philosophy. All right, so the philosophy was ready made. The other men would guide you through it. See, women don't make men. Men make men. Women don't make men. I don't care if you gave him a little pussy and now y'all having a baby. That didn't make him a man. Men make other men. And that was the way it went. Like when you had these fucking arranged marriages, they weren't just giving a young girl to any old asshole. Like, no, this motherfucker had been tested and tried. and made into a thing that was conducive for the community and the civilization at large. Okay, it wasn't just, hey, let's throw these other women over here. Now, granted, Europe's going through some shit, man. Y'all motherfuckers talk about epigenetic trauma. Hey, man, look, white folks been colonized too. Matter of fact, white folks got all kind of shit they've been going through, bruh. Most of this shit you hear about the patriarchy is that's their shit. That's their shit. Like, I'll be damned if I got a piece of the pie in this shit. But stop. As a matter of fact, this is who y'all need to look up. This is who the fuck y'all need to look up. My man Tommy Curry. Tommy Curry will hit you with some good shit, man. Let me see if I can find something real quick just to show you something to look at. Tommy Curry. That's the name. I'm going to say it again. I've told you Rollo Tomasi. I've told you the Black Phillip Show. Tommy Curry. Look up Tommy Curry. Here. Not Curvy. What the fuck? Curry. Fucking shit. Who do I have? What do I have? This man be going in. He wrote a book called The Mad Knot. It's on my list of books to get. I need to open up this thing so that you can see it, dumbass. Window capture. No, not that one. That's the chat. That shit looks funny like that. This one right here. Smooth. Swap them reds and blues. There we go. Yeah, this man Tommy Curry. He's got plenty of videos. This man's a philosopher. I be telling y'all getting a philosophy. I think I'm joking. I'm serious. This man's a philosopher. He has a book called The Mad Knot. Basically, once again, huge oversimplification. You need to check it out. You need to listen to some of the things he says. But like in racialized men are not allowed the option of manhood. All right, you go back and you know, some of these fucking feminist talking points that these bitches are parroting are the same shit that these white women used to parrot because they were upset that a black man might have a little more influence in the culture and civilization than she did. When she was the one who gives birth to the white man, she supports his imperialism. You know, like the position of black men has not been, hey, we're equal and we're gonna be like white men. Fuck no. In fact, black men are consistently demoted to a position of the feminine in a racialized society. But check it out. Please check it out. Not just if you're black. If you're fucking anybody. Anybody needs to check this out. More especially males. You need to have a firm grasp of the nature of your predicament. You don't want to be just going along to get along. Because motherfuckers like you would have failed the manhood training. See, back when motherfuckers could fail at this shit, and you excommunicated from the society, you killed or something, like you never allowed to have children. Back then, yeah, that made a difference. Back then, well, you weren't allowed to just fuck somebody's daughter. You fucking, y'all both teenagers. No, that shit wasn't allowed. Motherfucker, I'll cut your hand off. Fuck you mean? Well, back when that shit was different, man, please. None of this shit niggas is doing now. None of this shit where you letting some fucking teenage girl decide what the fuck she gonna do with her life. As if she fucking has any kind of fucking idea. Let a fucking teenage boy figure it out. No. Think back to the motherfucker you used to be. You are a dumb piece of shit. Sitting there thinking you're supposed to be able to do whatever the hell you want to, whenever the hell you want to. No. There's duty. There's duty to your community, to your society. Because you get rid of that, don't shame anybody, don't judge anybody. Now we don't have none of that shit. Not only do we not have it, motherfuckers don't even know how to pick it back up and start it again. You need to be judged. You need to be shamed. You need to have a duty to some shit. If you don't have a duty to nothing, you don't got no rights. Rights and duties are correlative. You're not going to have no communities. The black community is an illusion. There ain't no black community. Fuck out of here. I got videos on that shit. I talked about that shit as well, man. Ain't no black community. Zohan said, Brother Eric, it's the cult book list. Hell no. Look, you want my book list, go to the little website, check out the ersatz. I do book binding, man. Hell yeah, check some of that shit out. Well, no, yeah, check out Tommy Curry. Dr. Tommy Curry. Check him out, man. He's got some outstanding information. But back to the subject. Are you looking for a partner? You're looking to develop a partner. Okay? All right. You got to figure out what you're wanting, what you're trying to get to. I'm not saying have every single piece in line, but you need a really solid direction. Okay? It goes back to frame. When a woman gets with you, if you've gotten to the place where she's already choosing you, it means she wants to be part of the life you live. She wants to be in your frame. Okay? But if you slipping up and you going back into her frame, shit's gonna get fucked up. She wants to become part of your life. She wants to look up to you. She wants you to teach her things. She admires you. She wants that. And at the same time, she doesn't want to feel weak. So you're going to get all kind of ridiculous inconsistencies. But it's about feelings with them. She don't know what she wants. She knows how she want to feel. Okay? She wants to look up to you. Okay? So thinking you're going to find this woman out here who's your power couple equal. That's some girly shit. I know. I get it. I was there. I'm not making fun of you, but I'm telling you it's some girly ass shit. It's some girly ass shit. You want to be the leader. And you want to put yourself in a position where you're leading all the time. I would say all the time. Hey, I guess shit gets exhausting. I get it. And once you get somebody in a place where they can help you do the job, you have to already know what the job is. And you have to take the time to train them to do it. Once you can get there, you can get, I guess you can get a little bit of a break. Because remember, man, this is the big thing, bro. This is the big thing. There are no more virgin brides, and there's no manhood training. Okay? The old standards that we used to have are gone. They're gone. Now, I don't expect women to get the full implication of the fact that there are no longer manhood rights. But I'm imploring the gentlemen to understand that there are not only are there no more virgin brides, but now you have more work on your hands, and you're going to, and it's something that's to be expected. Okay, it's not a well. It would seem like it's a bug in the system because you think we know how it's supposed to be, but it is what it is. It is what it is until it ain't. Okay. There are no more virgin brides. There are no more turnkey wives. If you're gonna want a woman in your life, you're going to need to figure out how that works. And not only simply figure it out, but figure out how to convey that as well. So if you're under 30, take your fucking time. There's no reason to get jumping in and rushing into this. You're not even close to your upswing yet, kiddo. Men peak late and for longer. Women peak early and quick. Okay? You've got plenty of time, kiddo. You've got plenty of time. Don't worry about it. Don't stress. Fuck what people are saying. Do you and do it honestly. Do you and do it honestly. Okay? You will become because you're still unfolding. That's what I got to say about that shit, bro. Yeah, you want to develop her into the partner that you need. And the only way to do that is to know what kind of a partner you're going to need. Okay? Simple as that, bro. I've said it before. Women are the children of the adult world. Okay? That does not mean women are children, because I could easily say women are children like I just did twice. Women are the children of the adult world. That means in terms of the adult world, women play the role of children and men play the role of adult. There are things a woman is going to need from you. The same way things children need from their parents, which they may not be happy about the fact. Sometimes you need more than you mind. Sometimes you need more than you mind. And we can see what it looks like out here when motherfuckers are just allowed to do what the fuck ever. We can see what the fuck's going on out here. Have you ever heard one of these bitches say some shit like, I want a man who knows how to handle me? What the fuck does that tell you? These motherfuckers don't know what they're doing. They don't know. They don't know. But they're not going to say they don't know because they don't want to feel weak. Okay? I get it. Okay? It is what it is. You got to know. You got to know enough not to fall for that capping ass bullshit. Okay? It's up to you. I'm not saying you got to do this to make a whole new black community. Like, bro, black community, right? It's just, there's no thing. It's gone. I'm not saying go dick down snow bunnies. You do what you do, okay? That's what I'm not going to dick police. But there's a big world, guys. There's a big world. And if you're looking to get away from women who have that Western mindset, you're probably still gonna fuck up. You go that way. You're probably gonna get worse. All right. What you need to figure out is how to deal with that Western mindset. You need to figure out the different places where that shit is capped. Obviously, that's why I say these bitches. Her man is the state. Her man is the state. You need to be able to see that, because she's not gonna change until her feelings change. You need to be able to see that, bro, and take the time to get to know her. People be hooking up way too fast and be crying later. And man, be conscious about where you throw your dick at, man. Oh yeah, bro. You let motherfuckers into your life, and sometimes you can't get them out. Hell yeah, but like, if you're in a place where women are attracted to you, you're already valuable in their eyes. Okay, it's because women don't like most men. Most men they think are unacceptable. Like I did the video on hypergamy, and I have to correct myself. It's not that 80% of women want to get with 20% of the men. It's 100% of women are only interested in the top 20% of men. Okay, so much so that they don't even acknowledge the existence of these other men. They have them in the same category as children. Like, oh, look at him, he's sweet, okay. No, that. Once again, it's not a bug in the system, it's a feature. It's nature, it's necessary. So you have to know the value you bring. You have to know the value you bring, otherwise you'll squander your own value and you'll play yourself to the left, all right? So, and if she needs to be handled, then she needs to be tamed. Look, bro, they're asking for a husband. What they want is a daddy. I'm telling you. She don't know what she wants. She know how she want to feel, all right? You gotta lean into it. You gotta have that place where you can be like, fuck this bitch. I'm not listening to what she's saying. The medium is the message. It's not the words. The medium is the message. All right. You gotta think about the feelings behind the shit. It gets exhausting sometimes, but it's not because it's too much. There are no manhood There are no manhood rights anymore. We weren't set up. We weren't prepared. We weren't set up for success. But that doesn't mean you can't be successful. Well, not at all. Don't take my snow bunnies. Oh, bro, look. Different strokes for different folks, man. I can't do it. I will proudly say I'm one. Never been with a snow bunny. It's come close, man. It's come close. There are times where it's come close, but I just it's not for me. Like pink nipples. I don't like pink nipples. I don't like pink nipples. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I don't like pink nipples. Y'all can have that. That's more for somebody else, man. Laura says whoop. All right, y'all. What else did I want to do? What else do I want to touch on real quick? Like I said, she wants to look up to you. She admires you. She wants to be like you. All right, children of the adult world. And it's the natural thing. This is the role a man is supposed to play in a woman's life. Okay, it's a natural thing. You know, you can listen to all these independent, I do my own, da 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 da. It's a lie. Her man is the state. Her man is the state. If anything goes wrong in her life, she's relying on the state to take care of it. We've what's the word I want to use? We've delegated, there we go. We've delegated so many of the things that we would have done as a community to the state. And because most people don't understand their relationship to the state, they become one of the state's bitches as well. Okay? You need to understand that relationship. You need to understand the lines, where the lines are drawn. Otherwise, we'll never succeed in making anything new. In fact, I've kind of given up on the idea that niggas is going to do it. But, hey, I could be the motherfucker that's wrong. Hey, all the shit you need to do it is there. But it's got to be what you're deciding to do. Like, hey, for instance, a marriage license. First of all, what the fuck is a license? A license is permission to do something that would be otherwise illegal. Okay, you're signing up a marriage license, and I would generally say that the state becomes a third party, but that's incorrect. The state is the first party in the agreement. Now that's basically with your God is what you're agreeing to. It's a secular version of that, I guess you could say. Before that, marriage would have been a relationship between those two people and their God, their culture, their religion. Now, no, it's between those two people, their corporate fictions, and the state. Why do you need the license? Because you're putting together two corporate fictions that are not necessarily your property, mostly because you have to put a claim in on them. And allowing those two to do business, to be married. How many different meanings are there to the word marriage? There's a commercial side of it too. What are you agreeing to? You know, are you just doing what everyone's told you to do because that's what you've seen people do? Fucking slave shit. Fucking human shit. No one's forcing you to do it. Your ignorance is what's causing you to suffer. You can rethink and reshape all of these things. You have an unlimited capacity. These motherfuckers in the state are literally limited. What's the expression? Place the chains lightly upon themselves that they might enslave their brother. They've placed the chains lightly upon themselves that they might enslave their brother. The republic is a house that nobody lives in. Niggas is out here screaming democracy. I'm telling you, the devil's in the details. The answer's right there. These motherfuckers don't lie to you. They don't. But if you don't know what you're looking at, you don't see nothing. We can do all these different things completely differently, but we got to start from the ground up. All right? And you got to know what you want. American civil religion. Ha! I like that, American civil religion. Yo, and I be telling y'all motherfuckers, what they call the Bible is public notice of everything that's being done to you. All this shit that's being done to you. The Bible is public notice. Why do you think it's the highest selling book on the planet? You go to a hotel almost anywhere in the world, there's one sitting right there in the drawer. It's always available to you. It's public notice. It's public notice. Yes, it was constructed from old text that actually has something to do with spirituality at one point. But you got Nicene and them, the Roman Catholic Church, First Reich. I told you about this. It's public notice. It's public notice. You are literally living the life of a slave. And because the chains aren't metal anymore, you don't get it. The rabbit hole goes deep. But until you take the first few steps, you're not going to go nowhere. Question why you do what you do, why you've come to the conclusions you've come to. What are you agreeing to? What is your reality? And it's not because of some ominous they out there. Because whatever they is, they're just as free to do whatever the fuck they want to do as you are. What's holding you back is your ignorance to the nature of your predicament and how you're continuing to agree to it. It's really simple. It can be really simple. It can all be so simple. Don't take advice from independent single women unless you want to be single. But stop. Hell no. Look, man, this shit is cap. It's cap. Like women will say some shit like, I can get any man I want to. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. You can probably get any dick you want to. Getting dick ain't shit. Getting dick ain't shit. Like it's not even impressive. Like all the fixing up they have to do because like we like most anything. Like I was saying before, women consistently, 100% of women are only attracted to the top 20% of men. Men are damn near attracted to any woman. So it's not a feat. It's not something that she did. Like she just showed up and we already liked it. Come on now. It's you have to be able to look through the cap, bro. Don't listen to them. The medium is the message. You have to be able to stand on your own shit and honesty is a masculine virtue. Not to say women can never be honest, but they're not held to the standard of being honest, okay? As soon as you meet them, their face ain't real. They got the waist trainer on. But we don't expect them to be honest, and so you don't need to, all right? Spiritually fucked in the building. Nice to see you in the chat, sir. I've noticed when I take a day off or relax around the house, she does too. When I got 8 tasks that need to be done, I give her 3 and she follows suit. They want direction. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know sometimes my wife don't like to relax in the room when I'm over here working because she feel like she got to work too. Hey, look, you got to be the leader and you got to be the leader all the time and you don't get a break. And it's not something you're supposed to get a break from. You know, shit. This is why we build communities and civilizations to help lessen that burden. But you got to do it from the ground up. That's the whole thing these days. This is why you need that philosophy for yourself. It helps you to navigate that. Okay. Sometimes we don't even know what to do. Need some direction sometimes. That's why the guys got to get together on this stuff, man. There's conversations men need to have without women in the room. Period. Not because something's wrong with women, but because we need to be able to have these conversations without the distraction of their particular perspective on it. Just like you have conversations, parents have conversations with our children in the room. It's not because something's wrong with the child, because this outside of their jurisdiction. They don't need to be worried about this. All right. Examine the value you bring. Know that value you bring. That way you do not sell yourself short and undercut yourself on what the fuck you're supposed to be doing. These motherfuckers will figure it out. By the time most of them figure it out, it'll be too late for them. That's not your problem. All right? You don't need to be out here saving motherfuckers like the king's son. All right? No, sir. You save you. You save you and your own. That's all I can say to that shit, bro. That's all I can say. All right, y'all. Look, man. Sky's clearing up. I'm about to get up out this motherfucker today, yo. Please check out Tommy Curry. Check out Dr. Tommy Curry. Gentlemen, check out Dr. Tommy Curry. Check out Rollo Tomasi. Watch the Black Phillip Show. Please, please, I'm telling you, if you're not going to take the time to get the consultations, because we can go on some of the masculinity in the consultations. If you're not going to take the time to spend the money, all right, go do what you want to. Go do what you want to. I don't give a fuck. It's your prerogative. Listen to some of the motherfuckers I'm telling you to listen to. Do some of this research. All right? Don't just think, oh, yeah, I'm not a black guy. I'm not going to do it. No. Get into it. Listen to Tommy Curry. Please. I implore you. All right, guys. Thank you for letting me have my way with your Monday morning. If you have not already, make sure you visit Occult Corner Store. I know you've seen the thing on here. I know you've seen the shit. Make sure you visit, because that's what I like to help. I'm sending out my S.O.S. Spend or share. That's what I fuck with, y'all. All right. Like the Chief of Tribes coming together. Yeah, I like the Chief of Tribes coming together. Hell yeah. We got to reform that shit. I have a few ideas in my head. See, this physical world mundane shit, that's where I'll make some groups. I get how that shit works. Sayonara G, but I think it says sayonara. That's pretty sure Japanese, right? Anyway, y'all have a good one, man. I'm about this motherfucker. Y'all enjoy.